Hello everybody, I'm back to do another exciting Asylum video. I had a bunch of consultations last week and this video was inspired by one particular consultation that presented a really interesting fact pattern. So the question is, if you have an asylum application pending and you marry a US citizen while it's pending, what should you do? Should you proceed with your asylum application or try to get a green card through your spouse? Okay, so the fact pattern is kind of like this. You enter the US, within the first year or so, you apply for asylum, and now you have an asylum application pending. At some point in the future, probably a year later, you get your employment authorization, and now you're just waiting. Your lawyer tells you it's going to take a while, we don't know exactly how long. During this time, you're establishing your life in the US, everything is pretty normal, and you marry a US citizen. If you entered with a visa or you entered lawfully at some point, you might now be eligible to apply for permanent residence based on your marriage to this US citizen. So the question I receive is, what do? I have a pending asylum application. Can I get my green card through my spouse? So the fact pattern I dealt with was kind of like this. I told them, if you apply for your green card through your spouse, you have a very high chance of success. You know, in this particular situation, after I analyzed the case, it was like 95% chance of success. But if we had proceeded with asylum in that situation, it would have been far lower, probably 50% in this particular situation. So I told them it would be better in this case to apply through your US citizen spouse. So I've dealt with this particular situation several times, and the actual procedure for applying for permanent residence when you have an asylum application is somewhat complex, but just know that it is very doable. And the few times that I did it had positive outcomes. It couldn't have worked out better. So the important thing is you need to work with a lawyer to do this. First of all, if you have an asylum application and you didn't work with a lawyer, you are a braver person than I am. But when you apply for your green card, if you have an asylum application pending, at some point, the asylum office is going to want to know, do you want to continue with the asylum application? And the green card office that's interviewing you and your spouse and eventually going to approve your green card through your spouse wants to know if you're continuing with your asylum application or if you want to withdraw it. This is all a fact by fact, case by case, specific determination. I can't tell you what to do. I need to hear all of the facts of your case. I need to review all the paperwork you've received from the asylum office, from USCIS. It might depend whether you are applying for asylum with the asylum office or an immigration court. It depends on your situation. Just know that this might be a viable option for you. So if you have an asylum application pending and you're considering marrying a US citizen or you recently married, congratulations by the way, give me a call. I need to meet you and your future or current spouse, and I need to review all of your paperwork for asylum so that I can help you create a plan for the future. We do asylum law here, we do green cards, and when you combine the both, it makes it particularly complicated, but just know it's very doable. Alright guys, so this is probably going to be the last video I do on asylum law. I know I've sufficiently bored you guys to death. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. And remember, if you ever need assistance with any of this stuff or you're confused and don't understand, call or text me. That's what I'm here for.